Howdy all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, so, things have progressed a little bit. I now have my cookfire, I've got forge up and going. You can see I made myself a pickaxe, although it's halfway dead already. I did a little sorting. I was doing some sorting in here. I haven't quite finished my sorting yet. That needs to go in the forge. I was just trying to, that also needs to go in the forge. Get stuff situated here, so I know what I've got. Because let me tell you, looking through my box, trying to find things, a little crazy. Yeah, I got an anvil in there. I've got a full setup for my campfire now. Made a bunch of iron arrows. I do have some forged iron to repair my pick when it breaks. So I feel like I'm in pretty... Oh, I made my spike club. Yeah. Also put another level into Smash Him in the Face. What is that called? Pummel Pete. I think I like Smash Him in the Face better. So I need to either go back over to where I was. I think I need to go back to where I was at, because now I've got the pickaxe. I now have the tool necessary to actually break into the places. So let's head back over to this little other town here and finish looking through that. So I haven't, usually I talk about a show, but today I think I'm going to talk about Destiny 2. So I got Destiny 2 last week, and so I bought I really like Destiny 1. I bought all the expansions to it, all the DLCs, whatever you want to call them, and I played it pretty regularly. Not necessarily every week, but there weren't too many weeks or months, I guess, that went by that I didn't play it at least a little bit. And when a new expansion would come out, I'd put a lot of time into it. I don't think I'm gonna loot the missile silo. That's a lot of work, and I don't feel like I've got the tools necessary to loot my way through the missile silo. So maybe if I had like steel, I might go in there for that. But yeah, so Destiny 2. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Destiny 1. I really liked it. I think I still prefer Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, honestly. Now that it's all over. I'm not sure I like the sit-up they've got going in Destiny 2 as much as Destiny 1. I thought from all I read that they were going to have these big, like, story arcs that tied it all together, and it was a little disjointed, honestly. Oh man, his head, not his arm. And actually, let me go ahead and break that down. I need all the metal I can get my hands on at the moment. And so Destiny 1, right? Destiny 1 was pretty cool. I have to go back to Destiny 1 because of what I'm about to explain here. So in Destiny 1, you start out and, your guys, your guy's basically brought back to life by this little thing called a ghost. It's your Navi for the series. If you ever played Zelda, it's not as annoying as Navi because nothing's as annoying as Navi. But it just follows you around and does all your talking for you because your guy never speaks. Either game, your guy never speaks. And I know that's a thing to make you feel more like you're connected to your guy. It's a little weird, though. It's a little weird that your guy never speaks. And so anytime you speak, or anytime that, anytime there's a comment, like, I guess your guy doesn't know anything, so all the comments about what's going on come from this little ghost. And I was really disappointed in Destiny when apparently people hated the original Ghost, which was voiced by Peter Dinklage. I liked it because it gave this sense of impending doom, I guess, is what I want to call it. But so Destiny's storyline is that once there was a giant spaceship thing. Nobody knows what it is. We still don't know what it is. Giant machine of some kind. And it comes to Earth. Well, it comes to the solar system because they find it on Mars at first. And it gives mankind a bunch of technology and ushers in a golden age of humanity where everyone lives in peace and they scatter across the solar system. And only apparently it didn't tell anybody that it was being followed by hordes of alien species who want to control the Traveler, it's called. And so it basically lied. And you know, humans I feel would have probably been able to hold back what shows up had the Traveler mentioned that stuff was coming. But it didn't mention it. As far as I can tell from everything I've learned, the Traveler never told anybody that an armada of different alien species was coming. It just didn't tell anybody. And so when they showed up, humanity was unprepared. And most of humanity got wiped out. And the Traveler was really there. Oh man, I totally didn't bring my coffee or my beer. The Traveler was there specifically to find warriors to fight back against this darkness. But instead it ushered in a golden age and didn't tell anybody anything. So you're not there during the war that happens that wipes out most of humanity. And whatever goes down, the Traveler attempts to... I love that I spend all that time breaking that open and there's nothing in there worth having. The Traveler basically does something to protect one city on Earth and then releases the ghost. Or maybe it releases all the ghosts, because every Guardian, which is what you are in Destiny, every Guardian has a ghost. This is a lost story that I wasn't going to go through. But anyways, so that's the basic story of Destiny. There was a Traveler, it showed up, it gave mankind a bunch of technology. Other aliens showed up hundreds of years later. The Traveler knew they were coming. It didn't say anything. It did whatever to protect one city and then shut down. Nobody can speak with it. All these little ghosts are running around trying to find people who can use the light of the Traveler. And they're all dead people. It's resurrecting dead people. Once you have the Traveler's light, you can't be killed. You're immortal. And so when you are killed, you just come back to life. The light brings you back over and over and over. Not everybody can have that happen to them, apparently. What's weird to me is that there's 3 races you can play. Human, Awoken, which are humans who have been exposed to large amounts of radiation, who basically just have different colored skin and eyes and live out in deep space. And Exos. Exos are robots. If I can have a robot who can use this power, then I can make a duplicate of this robot. It doesn't matter what reason my robot can use the light. I don't care if it's a personality thing. I don't care if it's a mechanical thing. Whatever it is that allows my robot to use the light, I can make a duplicate of it. It's fine that he's a sentient AI. He's still programming, and I could just copy it. So I don't know why they don't have an army of guardians all full of light to fight back. That's bizarre to me. But anyways, so you start playing Destiny 1, and the first creatures you run into, and this is the part that's important to my critique of Destiny 2, the first creatures you run into are the Fallen. They're kind of like spider, wolf spider kind of thing. I mean, they walk on 2 legs, but they've got, I think they've got, you'd think I'd know as many as I've killed. They've got 4 arms, but they kind of remind me of spiders. I know they've only got 4 arms and 2 legs, but they remind me of spiders. And so that's what I think of them as, spiders. And so after a little bit fighting the Fallen, then you're led to the Hive, and which are, I'm not sure what those things are. They're kind of like zombies. I mean, they're definitely alien, whatever they are, and they use some very bizarre technology that's like negative universe stuff, and stupid deer, and made me waste 2 of my arrows. Well, I guess they didn't make me waste 2 of my arrows, but I wasted 2 of my arrows trying to shoot that thing. It would be way faster probably just to go through this window. Nope, it wouldn't. And so you fight with the Hive, and they're all like teleporting in, and huge clusters of non-thinking thralls, and then, you know, there's lots of different versions amongst each of the races. I got myself a bit of a cough today. And so you wind up leaving Earth, you go to the moon. On the moon, you fight the Hive. And then after the moon, you go to Venus. On Venus, you find... do you fight the Vex on the moon? I know the Fallen and the Hive are on the moon. I don't remember any Vex being on the moon, but you go to Venus. The Fallen and the Vex are on Venus. The Vex are robots. Strangely enough, the Vex are. You've been awesome as if you just switched weapons like I asked. Sometimes that whole I push a button to switch a weapon, but he keeps the same weapon he already had, gets me killed. Right there. Got me killed. Or the fact I wasn't paying attention. Got me killed right there. This tickle in the side of my throat that's bothering me is what got me killed because I can't concentrate. So, so the Vex are like from the solar system. They're not even part of the darkness that followed the Traveler. And they're like the big bad guys of Destiny 1, the original Destiny 1 game. Because each DLC adds a new big bad, but I find that weird that it's not even the darkness which the story seems like it wants to be about. That's the big bad for the first game. Ow. Great. And okay, that's better. I went and got something to drink. So yeah, the moon, right? The hive. Oh, then you go to Venus to fight the Vex. Hey, I don't have my stuff yet, dude. And so just give me a second. Just okay. Now we can deal with you. So after you fight the Vex, then you go to Mars, and you fight another alien species called the Cabal. And they're just, I don't know, they're like big aliens. And so it's got sort of a storyline. Nothing really ties together necessarily because each group's got its own reasons, and so each group is dealt with almost separately. They don't really work together. Over the course of Destiny, though, they introduce some new concepts, some good versions of the bad guys, and stuff like that. And so it had an all right storyline. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't really tied together. They kind of talk like they want it to be a MMO, but I don't feel they focus enough on a cohesive storyline for that to be a thing. So then we get Destiny 2, and I'd heard that there were like 80 plus hours of storyline and all this stuff, and so I was expecting a pretty intense campaign. I kind of knew. Oh, nice. I kind of knew part of the story going in. A Cabal leader shows up and destroys the tower, which is your main base of operations in the first game, scattering everybody. He seizes the Traveler, and so we get the game, right? I pre-ordered it, so I have pre-order bonuses. And so I get in, there are no pre-order bonuses. I'm like, okay, well, sometimes that stuff comes later, so I'm not too particularly worried about it. Nice. And so I'm playing the game, and the tutorial takes you through some Cabal stuff. I mean, you are there when the city falls. And so you do have to fight your way out of the city. It's kind of cool. You get introduced to the major characters of Destiny 1. I was looking for that outside stairway, and that's not what I came up to get in here. And so, like, there's 3 different classes, and so 3 different classes are Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. And so each of those have their own leader amongst the tower. And so those are 3 major characters that you talk to throughout the storylines in Destiny. And so you get introduced to the leader of the fall, or the leader of leader of the Titans, the leader of the Warlocks, the leader of the Hunters, and and whatever Gaul, the bad guy in Destiny 2, has done, he has stripped everybody of the light, which is your power source for your super abilities. I think that just goes outside. I can't tell though. Nope, it doesn't. I was wrong. It goes in the garage. I forgot about the garage. But I guess that's later when he strips everybody their powers. So you're going through and you run into like Zavala, the leader of the Titans. You run into Cade, the leader of the Hunters. You run into Akora, leader of the Warlocks. You run into the head of the Iron Wolves, or whatever they're called, which were introduced in a later DLC, and so like you get introduced to all the main characters, and and you fight your way a little bit through some of the Cabal stuff, and then eventually you actually start the game. Right, you get past the tutorial missions and get into the game itself. And so there's not a tower, because the tower got destroyed. Instead, there's the farm. Same concept, though, holds the same place on the map. And that's your base of operations. That's where you go to turn in reward stuff and things like that. So that's not too different. And so then they send you out to start the game. And so first game, Destiny, started on Earth. Second game starts on Earth. First bad guy you fight in Destiny 1 is the Fallen. First bad guy after the tutorial missions you fight is the Fallen. I'm like, okay. Kind of thought this was gonna be a fight to retake the tower, or the city around the tower. Was expecting kind of a guerrilla warfare style campaign against Gaul and his forces. But okay, if you want me to run around and play with the Fallen, I guess I can run around and play with the Fallen. They don't have you do too many missions on Earth, because there is a section of Earth that is full of Cabal. And then there is also the city is in there too. So the only parts you really go to are full of Fallen. Same as 1. There might have been Hive. I don't remember if there were Hive on Earth in Destiny 2. I'm pretty sure it's just Fallen. And then you go to your second place, which I don't think I remember what the second place is called. But it has Hive, and so you do a few missions. Earth, you're setting up the farm. The second one, you've been sent to return Nessus. Or not Nessus, sorry. Nessus is a planet. Zavala. Right? And so then you go fight the Hive, and you get... Dang it, I can't apparently talk and fight today. But you go and you rescue Zavala. So then Zavala's at the farm. And then you go to another planet. So you fought the Fallen, which is the first bad guy in Destiny. First, you fight the Hive second, which is the second bad guy in Destiny 1. The third place you go to is Cade. And Cade has Cade is on a planet that's overrun by the Vex, which is the third bad guy you fight in Destiny 1. And I'm like, man, you're just repeating Destiny 1 at this point. I kind of expected new, not... So you get Cade from the Vex, and then not that I wasn't enjoying myself don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Destiny 2. I mean, I'm not done playing it, but I have finished the main storyline now. Um, and which is why I wanted to talk about it, because there were a couple of things I found weird. One of them being no new things. It's all the same bad guys, the same classes. Um, and I mean, they did tweak a couple of the classes and they changed some other things, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But you know, seriously, the same order, really? Fallen in Destiny 1, Fallen in Destiny 2, Hive in Destiny 1, Hive in Destiny 2. And this is the order you fight them in. Vex in Destiny 1, Vex in Destiny 2. Um, Cabal don't come till later. Cabal were the last things you really fight. Cabal are the last things you really fight. And I'm like, this is so bizarre that you followed the exact same order. So I'm expecting. I don't like to learn about a game that I'm going to play. Like I might. I like to experience it, and so we go in, and I knew a little bit about the storyline, but I didn't want to know a lot, and so I get into Destiny 2, basically blind, and and so get in there, and they. So I'm expecting this huge fight to take back the city, and against the. None of that occurs. The storyline. The storyline is all about retrieving the 3 leaders of the Guardians, none of whom have power anymore, so that they can lead the charge against Gaul, so that you can go and actually do all the work. I'm like, man, I feel like you lost a huge opportunity here to have an awesome game about fighting in the city and hit and run missions and like a huge storyline, and instead I'm just hunting down leaders on planets in a repeat of Destiny 1. Get off me. I'm trying to fight this other guy. But yeah, so it's okay. It's not amazing so far, like I wanted it to be. I have not played any multiplayer missions yet, because in Destiny 1 they were part of the main storyline, and in Destiny 2 they're not. Those things are like separate. I haven't done one yet, but you don't even get access to them until after you finish the main storyline. Or maybe you do get access to them before you finish the main storyline, but it's way later. And so I've not done a multiplayer mission. I know they just added in the raid. I don't do the raids because I hate their system for. I should probably take this food with me. I hate their system for raid setups. You basically have to have a group. That was my biggest complaint about Destiny 1 was they have. I'm trying to think what they're called. I can't even remember what they're called. They got 3-player missions and 6-player missions. And 3-player missions, they automatically connect you to 2 other people so you can play the 3-player missions. But 6-player missions, you have to bring your own 6 people. But there isn't a system in the game to be like, hey, I'm looking for more people to do this thing. So it's not helpful. And so you basically have to know 6 other people, who are 5 other people that play, to do a raid. And so I know, like, I just picked up a special weapon quest, I think, and it requires me to raid. And so that will be another special weapon that I never get to. The other thing I was not a fan of from Destiny 2, I haven't tried out I haven't tried them out raids or anything in Destiny 2, so I do not know about that stuff. But one of the things I did not like in Destiny 2 was there's a system of classes, and the classes upgrade as you play the game. So in Destiny 1, there were originally two classes, or two subclasses for each class. I play a Warlock, and so don't ask me what the names of them are, but I think it's like Sunsinger and Void something. I just call them by what they are: Sun and Void and Lightning. They have names, but Lightning came later, so you got to choose between Sun and Void. And I didn't like Sun. I never liked Sun. I only used it on difficult raids. Well, not raids, but the three-man things. I can't think what they're called. All I can think is Flashpoint, which is a totally different thing that's in Destiny 2. Strikes. They're called strikes. I only used them on difficult strikes because they allowed you to bring yourself back to life. And when everybody dies on a strike, you have to start over whatever it is you're on. So if you can bring yourself back to life, then of course you don't fail, and you can get over and res a teammate after you res yourself. That was it. That was the whole reason I used it. And if I didn't need it, I used Void, because I way preferred the attacks of Void to the defense of Sun. And so we get to Destiny 2. Destiny 2 does a little different. You start with a single subclass, and you can't switch. You don't even have access to the other subclasses. And so you have to play through Sun until level 7 or 8. And then once you hit level 7 or 8, then you get access to Void. And let me tell you, as soon as I hit Void, I stopped using Sun altogether, and I never used it after that. And so, and then at level 15, you get access, possibly, because it's a drop, to Lightning, which was my favorite. And I don't think I got Lightning until I got level 20. And you could complete the main storyline at like 16, but I didn't even get access to my Lightning thing until level 17, and it took me 3 levels to unlock it. So I didn't like that. And then in the first game, you had a lot more in the way of options for your subclasses on how you equip them. They had different options available, and you could choose between different options. So, like, there's 3 different kinds of grenades for each subclass. You still have your choice between 3 different types of grenades. But then there were upgrades to those grenades, and you'd have to choose between the different versions of those upgrades. You have a melee attack, and the melee attack has powers associated with it. And so you could choose between the different types of melee attacks. What does that scrap into? And so that was cool, because then I could choose between, do I want extra lightning, do I want extra defense, or whatever. Yeah, all that's gone in this one. You have your choice between the 3 types of jumps, the 3 types of grenades, but you only get to choose between the 2 types of punches. And then those 2 types of punches choose 3 other upgrades. And so they took out a bunch of customization that I enjoyed because I might tweak what my subclass was like, depending on what I was trying to do, and they took that away, and I don't like that. I don't like that I have to choose between two different kinds of punches, and then three other types of upgrades are decided for you. Um, because it used to be columns, and you choose between, option one, option two, or option three in each column. And on this, I choose uh, lightning comes out of my fist or some kind of defensive thing, and then that chooses. Um, uh, like there was upgrade to whether or not your lightning arced to other bad guys, or if you created a lightning wave around you when you activated your super ability. And now those are on separate things, and you can't have the lightning punch and the landfall at the same time because they're separate now. And they didn't used to be like that, and so it's kind of, I don't like that. I don't like that you took away my ability to choose. I'm not a big fan of the new armor and weapon system so far. They took a lot of customization out of that as well. They added some customization to it, but there used to be a random field a part of it, and they've taken out a lot of the. Well, it seems to me, anyways. They've taken out a lot of the. You used to have like multiple special abilities on your weapons, and all of that's gone. You basically get like one special ability on a weapon, maybe, and that's it. And they don't have my favorite one. Again, they've taken away my favorite thing. So it's not terrible. It's just I didn't feel it was broken, so I don't know why they got rid of it. And then and then we gotta go back to, and this will be the last thing because I know I've gone over like normal. I pre-ordered the game, and this one probably made me the most irritated out of the whole situation. I pre-ordered the game so that I could get these special items. You don't get access to them until you complete the main storyline. Fine. I'm fine with that. It's a nice, powerful weapon kind of thing. I'm fine with that. I'll take level 20 pre-order items any day of the week. I mean, I know the game doesn't stop after you complete the main storyline. Not a big deal. I can use it on all the stuff that comes after, especially since I haven't entered a single strike yet, and I'm already done with the main storyline, the main single player storyline, I guess. And so I complete the storyline. I go to the guys to get my special items. One of the items is a sword. One of the items is a laser gun, basically. And so the I pick both those up, and then they have a whole new headquarters for you once you finish. What is that? It's a wolf. Oh man. Holy crap. I put 3 arrows in that guy. He did not go down. So I pick up my laser gun, I pick up my sword. I walk about 10 feet over, and I speak to one of the leaders who's giving me rewards for completing the main storyline. And one of them gives me a different sword, but the same power level as my pre-order item. And I'm like, okay, so now I've got two swords. And I don't really use either one of them. so far. But yeah, I got 2 swords, and I've already picked up a random sword that was way more powerful than those, which is what you want, but still, why make me wait so long to get the pre-order? And that's the thing that drives me crazy, is that you knew... Oh wait, and then the wolf died? That wolf was alive. I don't like that he's dead now. Oh, maybe he bled to death. That's what happened. He bled to death. I know I don't have any room, but I'm gonna gut him, see what I got that I can throw away, and pick some of this up. Let's get rid of plant fibers. I want to get all the meat. Let's get rid of the wood. Let me get the bone. Let's get rid of the cloth. We'll get the hides. What's left here? Animal fat and... Oh, it's all animal fat. I guess I could use some animal fat since you can make candles out of that. Let's throw this away because I already have some of that. Alright, let's take this back home. So, so then I get my laser gun, and after I talk to the guy and get my sword, I talk to another guy, and he gives me an exotic engram. And these are the items you turn in for new weapons. And so I take my exotic engram, and I turn it in, and they give me the exact same weapon as my pre-order. I got a cold snap trace rifle as my pre-order bonus, and I talk to Zavala. Zavala gives me exotic engram. I turn the exotic engram in. They give me cold snap trace rifle. I'm like, this isn't even like a special bonus now. This is like, I gave you money for no reason. I don't take it that way. I enjoyed the game. It was a pre-order bonus. It's just crazy to me that both of my pre-order bonuses were basically replaced immediately by people who were in the same area. That's crazy. I got a 210 power cold snap for my pre-order. I took 5 steps. I talked to a guy. I took 5 more steps. I turned the item in that he gave me, and I got a 264 cold snap, which is the same weapon I just got as my pre-order bonus. I didn't even get to use these things. I didn't even get a chance to use these things before I was handed better items, because you don't get them until the end. That's like, I'm sure not everybody else got a cold snap from Zavala, but I couldn't believe that exotic weapon was given to me as my pre-order bonus and is readily available as a turn-in. You'd think it would have been a little special, like I got a special thing. I need to look what my other bonuses were, because I also bought the deluxe version, and I'm not sure I got my deluxe version sword and stuff yet, so yeah. Alright, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. We'll talk to you later.